Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle book review of Victorian London street life in historic photographs. Of course, it'd be very unusual if it wasn't historic photographs. However, John Thomson and it's quite an interesting collection. This is actually originally was from 1877, Street Life in London. This is a Dover edition. Obviously it isn't 1877, but it's obviously a copy of that. Let's just go through the book. I love these sort of books. These are absolutely just fascinating. And you've got here the obviously the original. It's a bit, obviously the glue is a bit having problems here. Street Life in London, and you've got a variety of things. London Nomads, it says there. London Nomad. You've got different sections. You've got a whole range of the different street life of London. You've got London Cabman. Got a lovely picture there of a London cabman, and obviously a lot of text. Obviously it's all dated to 1877, so there's nothing in terms of the modern world. So when you're reading it, you're reading it obviously in the context of that time. Turning around and saying about Covent Garden flower women. Obviously many of these places are completely gone. Though, to be honest, the backdrop of some of these probably similar. Obviously the London is nothing like that anymore. So you've got no flower women. I don't know when flower women disappeared from Covent Garden. Absolutely. Recruiting sergeants at Westminster is another section. And you've got a lovely picture there. Recruiting sergeants at Westminster. Obviously Westminster Abbey at the background there. And also you've got street floods in Lambeth. You've got public disinfectors. Now, super useful during this period, I'm quite certain, while reducing the general death rate, etc., etc. And it's obviously all about... there was slightly, obviously, different circumstances to these various infectious diseases at the time, but clearly they went around and were disinfecting things. Worldwide street advertising, something again that you see, of course, street advertising, but you don't see it in the vast numbers. I mean, they really had, back in Victorian times, there was some staggeringly amazing street advertising, really, really impressive. And it's a pity in many ways they don't have all that, but maybe in the future they will. It will be just electronic sort of boards flashing up stuff constantly based on your own as you walk through, like those films where they show everything changing as you. It's all based on your perception of the Clapham Common Industries. You've got Caney the Clown, dealer in fancy wear. There's a whole variety. It's absolutely fascinating. If you really want an insight what was happening, obviously Victorian, you've got all the various things, but when you watch a drama or something on TV and you very rarely see these sort of things. The old clothes of St Giles. I mean, I'm certain, well, there might be. There's no dramas ever going to be a story about the old clothes of St Giles. Now that would make at least a good 10-parter, I'm certain, on Netflix or something. Maybe not. But you could do some sort of drama around those sort of stories. Why not? Obviously it isn't Downton Abbey, but it's still a fascinating insight into that world. Halfpenny ices. I must admit, when I look at that halfpenny ices, I'm not certain I would really want one of those, because you got all the kids and they washed, sort of got it like something they gave something, gave it to people, and they would lick it and then they put it back and wash it. Imagine by the end of the day, that water was not going to be at the best of states. Probably not even by the start of the day either, but it still was pretty. The cheap fish of St Giles, with obviously 2 S's there. And also the workers on the silent highway. I love that, worker on the silent highway. I've never really think that the Thames would be a silent highway. You would think you're on it. I suppose maybe it is. I don't know. Haven't been on the Thames on a boat for ages and ages. Can't remember the last time. It was good 20, 30 years ago. Terrible. I really should. I know. It's one of those. This one, London Boardmen. Another thing you do not see. Well, I haven't seen for a long time. Must be. Maybe people do it. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Watercart. You've got Watercart. There's just some great pictures all the way through this. And I just love it. Street locksmith. Italian street musicians. All those sort of things. The crawlers. And of course, they obviously give all these names. I think, and this is the fascinating thing sometimes, it's just not just purely because, of course, that world, luckily, all of it has gone. Thank God for that. But some of it's just fascinating the way that they were talking about the terms and the references to all the various things that happened, the streets and things where it happened, the alleyways that sort of long gone. And I'm just reading another book, and I'm just going to bring that over. That's absolutely thoroughly enjoyable. London travel guide, and it's all this. At the moment, I don't know, it's like medieval, sort of medieval times, and you've got Shakespearean times, and all the various terms of all the alleyways and things, all the names, and some of them, of course, you've still got all the rest, but many, of course, have long gone. They've been destroyed by lots of buildings and everything, and that's the way the world works. So this is a absolutely superb little collection of photos, and I love all these Dover publications. They're just great. I used to go visit regularly a Dover shop in London. It was just off the Seven Dials, and I just loved going to that store. That's gone, of course, and it's a pity because I did pick up quite a lot of wonderful Dover publications. Now you can still get them on the web, but sometimes some are quite pricey now, but some not. And this one I picked up at a market, so I'm really pleased I got it. And a very enjoyable read it is as well. So totally recommended.